So for assignment 3, we need to create a local VM and auto scale it to GCP or any other public cloud when the resource usage exceeds 75%. So here we'll be measuring the resource utilization, that means CPU utilization. And when CPU utilization exceeds 75%, we will automatically create a new instance in Google Cloud Platform. So for this, let's start by creating a VM. So here, let's open VirtualBox. Now, here, what we can do is create a new VM. So I'll name it as assignment 3. So BCC assignment 3. Now I'm using Ubuntu here. It is a lightweight version of Ubuntu. So next. Now we need to show the CPU utilization exceeding 75%. So there's no need to keep a lot of cores here. So just I'm using two cores so that it easily gets to 75%, and then keeping it at default. Just configure it. Now click on start. Now VirtualBox is powering up the VM. You can see at the right hand side. Now here we can change the view. I prefer scaled mode. So I'll just switch to scale mode. Now try and install Ubuntu. So now the VM, Ubuntu VM has started. So now we'll install Ubuntu. So click here. Just this is quite straightforward. We'll just click on next, next, and what's it saying here? Normal installation, right? So next. Here you have to select erase disk and next. Login VCC3, password VCC3, and here VCC3, right? Next. We'll have to just wait for a while this is installing. So now it's all done. Now we can restart our system. So let's click here, done. Just let's click enter. And password VCC3. Now we can go straight to GitHub. So once we open this Firefox, and let's open this terminal. Now we need to do one thing, that we need to open my GitHub. So let's search, and we need to clone the repository that I have prepared for this assignment. Here's a repository, VM2 Cloud Autoscaler. In this, we are mainly concerned with Autoscale Flask app. So this has a Python app.py made in Flask, and we have the front end in HTML. And based on this launch.sh file, we'll first install the dependencies, then we'll authenticate it. So obviously we'll have to write a project ID here. So once I have cloned it, I'll change my ID and then launch it. And as you can see, we have used NoHub for running Python app.py in background, and then we can access front end at localhost 5000. And here uh, we are monitoring the CPU usage and migration. So using this line of codes, that we are running an infinite loop here, and we are getting the requests from localhost 5000 and continuously printing the CPU usage, as simple as that. So let's just quickly clone it, right? Code. copy, paste report. Now test run ls, now cd, paste report. Now we are mainly concerned with this demo. So we'll open demo 3 autoscale flask app. Now we have copied the selection, let's paste it. So we have the app.py launch.sh and templates.sh. Now we can give execute permission to this one. So chmod.sh launch.sh. So now I have added the compute zone as well as the project ID in launch.sh. And now I'll just run it. So bash launch.sh launch.sh. Let's click it. It will first install the dependencies. Here's the thing about Google CLI. That sometimes it doesn't find the package path, so I have a fix for that. Uh, so here you can clearly see that our error says that it is unable to locate package CLI, Google Cloud CLI, right? But we have given the command to download it here. So now we need to change the path so that it finds our Google CLI thing. So let's just apply our quick fix here. So here the install steps will manually install it. So let's install these basic dependencies. So I'll just copy it. This clipboard. Now we'll add the cloud repository here. So let's copy it. Selection. Enter. Now we have set the correct path. Now what we need to do is import the cloud public key. Copy it. Paste clipboard. Good. So this has been downloaded. Now Mhm. We can actually install GCP SDK, right? So, step one. Now, our GCP SDK has been installed. So, we can run this bash script again. So, bash launch.sh. Meanwhile, I can just explain the architecture because this is going to take a long time, I guess. So, till that is happening, let us discuss the architecture of this app. So, basic structure. What is really happening is first we have created a local VM, then we installed HTOP, Stress, GCP SDK, Then we are monitoring the CPU utilization. Based on that, and simultaneously we are launching some sort of computational heavy test or maybe stress test. Based on this, if CPU utilization is greater than 75, we'll authenticate GCP. If VM exists, uh, we can directly auto scale, but if it does not exist, we'll have to create a instance and then only we can migrate the resources using SCP, which is uh, secure. So we can use secure copy protocol, and using that we can migrate our resources. And once it has concluded, we can stop the VMs. So this is our project structure, and so you can see that I actually have I developed it iteratively. So in demo one, I have only focused on monitoring the utilization using htop and stress test. Yeah, and now it is getting redirected probably because of this. We have run the authentication command, so we have to authenticate it. So M23. So now we have successfully been authenticated. So we log in back here. We have locally deployed it. We can go to localhost 5000. Let me just quickly copy it. Open link. To run app.py separately, I guess. New tab. That is the reason. Yes, we'll have to just quickly install the dependencies for this app. So pip install numpy. To fix this, it's saying we need to break system packages, right? So break system packages. Let's see. Now our heavy computation has started. CPU utilization has increased till around 60, so let's wait for a while. So it has detected high CPU workload, so it is migrating to cloud, and now the instance already exists. That means that we have already scaled it up with this. So let's see if an instance has been created, because as of now I have kept it for only one instance, because otherwise it will continuously keep on creating multiple instances and we cannot really afford that. So for demo purposes, I have set it to one instance and it has been created. So this is our auto scale instance. Now what we really need to do is, if we want to access it, so if you carefully see our app, what this is saying is that, so we can just leave this one here. So now in this auto scaling app, if you can see, it is running our server on localhost, right? So this is our localhost, and another our instance is running at this, right? So if you see here, this is our local host address and this is our external IP, which is probably the IP address of the one that we scale to the cloud. So if we copy this address, external address, and write HTTP instead of localhost, what we need to do is this one. This is the external IP of our VM instance, right? Now, if I write 5000, yeah, yeah, HTTP double slash. I think it is not taking in the HTTP IP. View logs of this machine first. So the thing is, it is handling only computation as of now. So once this is triggered, we are successfully invoking telemetry, and through that, our computation is being transferred here. But I guess the front end has not been deployed, so that is why we are getting that sort of error. So yeah, we got a few errors here. So that might be because although the instance is deployed and computation has been carried out, but we haven't really installed the Flask thing here. So that can be fixed later on. But you get the idea that overall, we have migrated the computation to VM, and that is why once we go to our CPU monitoring thing, the load drops below 70 because some of the computation is being carried out by our VM. And for future endeavors, we can obviously migrate the front end thing here and make it synchronized. So that we can also access the front end through the cloud. So that's all. Now let me just recheck if I have covered everything in this. So let me just open the GitHub thing and repository. So in this, what we have covered is we have covered the mm, we have covered this that we have installed HTOP and stress tested our VM. We installed GCP SDK on our VM, and then we deployed the Flask app. So if you remember, we faced two errors. One error was in GCP public key path. So we updated the path and then ran it, and it was successful. And another thing was that I forgot to take into account our Python dependencies. So the if you see app.py here, it is actually computing a randomly generated matrix of size 4000. So if you go in here and see this, so in app.py you can see that we are actually computing this heavy matrix. So here we have set the size to 4000, and that is why we needed NumPy. So for that, I had to install NumPy in our VM. So that was our error number two, which we fixed. So we just installed NumPy, and another error occurred that as we were using VM, so what happened was that yeah, so as we were using virtual machine, so what happened was that we were not at the sudoers, like we were not in the sudoers list, and as a system protection thing, they have like they don't allow non-sudo users to install packages. So for that, we can break package. So we use this break package thing, and then the second error was also resolved. So that's all. Thanks for watching.